guys want to introduce yourselves first to everyone?
Um, Hi everyone, I'm Ian Iglesia. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Stonyhurst Southfield International School, Malarayat in Lipa City, Batangas. And I used to be a classmate of Matthew's for 3 years from 5th grade to 7th grade.
Hi, I'm Pauleen, and I used to be Matthew's classmate when he was really tiny.
Well, I guess for starters, how did the pandemic kind of affect you? So
Ian.
All right. So far, how I've been dealing with the pandemic, it's actually both like a blessing and a curse for me. One, it's a curse because I'm an extrovert, as you guys might know, and it's really hard for me that I don't see people face to face because I'm really a people person. But at the same time, it's also a blessing because at least I get to think about things. I get to value the things I've taken for granted, and like my friends, like those tiny moments that we have, the ones I don't really value. It makes me more grateful for those moments that have passed, and it just makes me excited to see everyone again. Hopefully, you guys in person. So.
For me, it might sound weird, but like as an introvert, it has really helped me really get on my core. Unlike Ian, he's a people person, and as for me, I'm really not. But I really missed it, and it was really a struggle adjusting to the first 3 months of the pandemic because it was really freaky. The numbers kept rising, but I think it got better, and at this point, I'm really used to it now.
yeah, well, that's good to hear. Yeah. So like you're just basically getting used to it, right? And
Well, it's March, and I'm still kind of processing what happened last March.
oh,
Honestly, I'm already getting used to the fact that I'll just be like seeing people on my screen every day for 24/7, and you only get to go out for like a limited number of times. You don't get to hug people. It's kind of sad. Like,
yeah. What's kind of like your initial thoughts? What were your initial thoughts going into this pandemic? Like what was your
so I'll give you just a little bit of a rundown of what happened. Basically, for us, our last day in school was March 11th. That was the last time Pauline and I saw each other in person. We were actually in the middle of our second term test. We were on the second day, and we were just getting reports of how the coronavirus cases here in the Philippines were like at 33, I think, by that week. And then, if Matthew, if you remember Miss Penn, Teacher Penn,
yeah.
She's the department coordinator. She visited our classroom, and then she told us that classes were going to be suspended for the next 2 days. But we were also going to have our CGS, or comprehensive growth series, if you remember that, that weekend. And they said that they were going to push through, and they were still going to sanitize the venue. So that was actually very exciting for all of us. But like at the same time, it was also sad for me because I didn't get to go at the last minute, and I just had to be there in spirit. And it was also the last encounter of our class as a whole in person. And going into that, I just really thought like we were just gonna be suspended for 2 days. Like we all thought that it was just gonna be like 2 days, and later on March 13th, on the day of the event, they said we won't be going to school for the whole month of March, and then eventually they said until April 14th, and then April 30th, until like they finally told us that you're not going back to school like for an indefinite period. So that kind of broke my heart because I wasn't able to end my 10th grade with my classmates on a high note. So that's you're just really uncertain about the pandemic. So that's the hard part of entering into it. You don't know what's gonna happen next. And now we're here 1 year already, still not in school.
1 whole year, we're still here, huh? Still locked in our houses.
For me, I think it was pretty cool at first. I know but like I got this dystopian feeling, and it was really interesting because I was really into that. But I think Ian summarized the whole feeling at the beginning of the pandemic. But caving into it, I think I was really nervous, and uncertain things kept happening. So I felt a lot more hopeless than the beginning. So I think that's my initial thought on it.
So it just sort of just like got better, like as time went on.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm actually glad that we have social media. We have a lot of media outlets like TikTok, Discord, and
Yeah.
all those kinds of stuff. So at least we get to stay connected. Like every time we have asynchronous classes, well, because for us in Stony, our schedule is that Monday to Friday, like first half of the day we have discussions, and then in the afternoon we have asynchronous classes. So like we're basically just doing tasks. So what I do is like I get to connect with my friends, video call them for like 2 to 3 hours, talk about stuff and talk about how I miss them so much. And at least, you get to connect with your friends even more, and at the same time, you actually get to strengthen your friendship more, especially with people you don't really connect much. That's actually what makes the pandemic better. You get to connect with more people with just the click of your social media.
It kind of feels like sometimes you lose a lot more connection than you make. Like for me, I think, I used to talk to a lot of people, but the anxiety gets in between us, so we don't talk at all. So I have not been talking to a lot of people since the pandemic started. But, same goes for Ian. I think I've made a lot of connections as well. Being in a new community, being in a new school.
I sort of get that too, because especially like in like the pandemic setting, because all of us are just kind of forced to interact online, because that's pretty much the only way we can interact. And I guess that sort of interaction is sort of different from like what we experience in school, because especially if you're gonna interact outside school, it kind of takes initiative. You can't just run into someone in the hall or during lunch and check a conversation. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to message them first. You're gonna have to call them first. So I think in that sense, it's sort of more of you do make a connection with sort of the people that you want you around, in that sense.
I'm a hopeful person, and now that we have vaccines, I'm pretty sure we're already seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what I'm excited about. We just have to keep praying that hopefully it will almost be over. Life wouldn't go back to normal as fast as we thought as we expect, but we're gonna get there. At least seeing each other enough. Seeing each other is actually already enough. At least you get to communicate with people face to face now, right?
Yeah.
Also, what's hard about being able to connect online? You don't really get to see the nonverbal cues of people.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my anxieties. Yes, you're talking this certain person, and then you just throw yourself at them, their whole personality and stuff. But then again, you start to think are you sure this person really enjoys my company? Are you sure this person isn't annoyed with what I'm doing? But then again, you don't get to control other people's lives. You just have to vibe with them. You have to just find ways to be able to connect with them in this situation.
Kind of makes me feel a little plastic as a person. When I don't see the person, and then you have to force to be in the same energy as them, even though you're really not in the same energy. Do you get that?
Yeah.
I think it makes me feel a little sorry for the person I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It makes you feel scared of the person. They might hate you or something. But, don't think about it too much.
What have you guys done, or what kept you busy during the whole year of just living through the pandemic and staying at home?
Well, I've been doing a lot of art lately, and I've been learning how to crochet and just learning new stuff. I think that's kept me in the zone and more sane than not. Yeah, and watching shows, repeating shows, I think that's really fun for me as an introvert.
Yeah.
I also got into a lot lately. Well, first I got more into chores because now that because I'm not really a chore person. I'm actually used to having someone to do stuff for me, but it's actually time that now that you're not so busy, you get to stay here and you need to work more and serve your part in the house. Also, what I do is that of course, how I also watch shows. I'm a Friends fan. I like watching Friends, and I also practice piano. I like practicing piano, and I also write. I try to write a lot of stories, well, actually like television series, if you will. Try to write some of those, just to keep myself busy and let my imagination fly, because you can't always have your mind idle on social media. You just have to like give your brain some exercise.
Cause like we've been in the pandemic for like a long time, right? And like obviously like we're all like busy, like doing what they playing the piano or like drawing or watching TV shows. So like I guess like none of us really knew whether we do all this stuff, or like how long it would last. So like I guess like something I'd like to ask you guys is like, if you were to like talk to like yourself like a year ago, like what would you like one piece of advice you'd give to like to yourself like a year ago, like before like all of this started, as we were just getting into it?
Well, I might be screaming at myself from 1 year ago. Don't stress yourself too much. You gotta wait. You're gonna see your friends soon. Don't worry. Don't get too stressed and too hyped up. That's basically me.
Oh, that's like the only positive thing we've heard when we asked that question.
I think as for me, I think it's not to be too negative about it, but also not too positive about it, because people are dying and it's not something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I think at my point, it's not a very big deal because I still get to go out. I'm doing well, but at the same time, also try your best to help people and not be too positive. Just don't be too positive. I guess that's all I have to say about it.
You guys mentioned that you were watching shows over the quarantine, yeah? Can you give us some shows you've been watching, or like recommend any shows? Maybe,
Friends, you gotta laugh. You guys gotta laugh. You gotta watch Friends.
That's all you watch.
Yeah, that's all you watched.
Yeah, that's all I watch. I also try to watch some other shows like I like spin-offs of 90s sitcoms. So if you've heard of Full House, I watch Fuller House.
Fuller House.
And if I actually don't watch the show that much anymore, but like the spin-off of Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World, it's a nice show.
Oh yeah.
Those are my favorites.
How about you?
Well, I've been watching anime.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Honestly. Yeah.
Attack on Titan, I think I got into.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like all of my friends are like standing K-pop groups, and then they're all like watching anime, and I'm just here like I'm just browsing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and watching Friends, and that's all I do.
Ian, do you not like K-pop? You don't like K-pop?
Do you?
Well, I do know some songs, but like if I sing them to you, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, you're gonna lose a lot of views if I sing. But I know some songs like Twice songs, Momoland songs.
Go girl.
Sample.
Make me feel special and I'm not gonna do it.
Dance. Can you dance? Yeah, Ian, didn't you like dance like a while back? I feel yeah. Come on, do it.
Can't believe you remembered that.
That's a thing. It's quarantine. A lot of the people I know and a lot of the people we've also talked to always got into like either one or both of those things, like K-pop or anime. It's like it's nothing else usually. Like, Ian was like the first person.
TikTok.
Yeah, okay, TikTok. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, TikTok.
But like,
TikTok got
yeah.
really over the quarantine.
I used to do TikTok, but it wasn't called TikTok back then.
What was it called back then?
It was called Musical.ly.
Matthew had one.
You had one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, but we moved on from that because we're evolved individuals.
Have you moved on, Ian?
Okay.
Follow your dreams. That's all I have to say.
You want to become a TikToker?
TikTokers. Matthew, do you still have TikTok? Do you still dance on TikTok?
No, I don't dance on TikTok.
You just like TikToks?
Yeah, I just watch TikToks. I don't make TikTok.
Bruh.
Well, yeah, Ian, do you know any TikTok dances?
Renegade.
Dude, I know some TikTok dances.
Was that like
yeah,
pre-quarantine?
Yeah,
No.
that was pre-quarantine. What do you call that again? Weekend? yeah, the weekend.
Corvette, you know?
Corvette here.
What's it called? Like when you stand up and like you do that.
I can do this. Oh no, wait, no, I won't. No, I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it justice. So like, guys are gonna.
What was justice again?
You know what? He didn't show us Justin.
I don't know. Like, to a lot of people, I'm basically lutang.
Oh.
Since birth, I was always lutang. So, yeah, you might just hear me say things and do things you guys might expect. Like what I said, I'm eccentric. So,
You're very eccentric. That's a good thing.
yes.
Go to the dolphin thing. Someone do it. No one's doing it.
The dolphin thing. I think Diego, you can do it, right? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
do it.
uncultured. I don't know like half the things you guys are
Diego
talking
can do
about.
it. Yeah, Diego can do
God,
it.
have you seen me move my body? I look like a stick. If I try to do any dance, I can't do anything.
It's okay. When I used to dance, I looked like a stick. Actually, Pauleen used to call me a broom because I still remember my hair from early high school or like late grade 6 or early grade 7. Like I had like this receding hairline. Like I tried so hard to make my hair spiky and high volume. I ended up just ruining myself, and yeah, I don't like looking back at my grade 7 pics anymore.
Totoy.
Ah,
The play.
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait. So Matthew was part of like we did like this short film in 7th grade. It was called New York and Thunder. So it involved like this woman who came home from New York, and she basically just like adapted American culture, and then she started becoming also shy and stuff. And then Matthew was like one of the guy friends that she had. She's like
Hi.
I remember you guys were having like this scene in the hella room, and then you came out and like pasok ng mga suki, and you're like doing it in a high-pitched voice.
Guys.
I'm a calendar, so I remember everything. I remember a lot of dates.
No, get it away.
Hey, no, oh my gosh, that was the 3 of us.
Yeah.
It was after class. Ew.
You mentioned.
I kind of looked good, but like
That's
you do.
early grade 7, like the first until like the second term, I looked horrible. I had a glow up, so wow, I'm confident.
Oh, wow, confident.
Wow, sana all.
Not all, Ian. Dude, honestly.
Oh my god.
You guys prefer online school or face-to-face?
Well, in general, I would prefer the face-to-face kind of situation. But because of online classes in my school, we don't have tests anymore, which I'm really thankful for. So I don't have to study and cram too much. But I think I would really prefer face-to-face for the real experience of learning and making friends.
Yeah.
On my side naman, senior high of course is hard, and I actually realized that if we were having face-to-face classes, it wouldn't be as easy as we are having it right now, because now the requirements are kind of regulated, and then the tests aren't too hard, and everyone's considerate with the learning, because of course some of us have unstable internet connections and a lot of stuff that life can carry. But like, if you ask me, of course I'd go for face-to-face, because that's where I learn better. There are no distractions, and you're all with people who are learning together, and at the same time you get to socialize in person. So face-to-face is still the best for me.
I don't know, because I feel like, especially like academic wise, I definitely do better also like face to face now. Because like if it's online, like yeah, like I'm sure like everything is easier, and like the teachers are definitely more lenient. But like I don't feel like I'm learning as much as I would have if like it would have been like normal face to face class.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I like doing math.
I miss doing math.
Well, math is my favorite subject when it's easy.
Math is your favorite subject? Can you explain?
Well, it's hard to explain. But like, based on my calculations, there's a chance that we could actually go back to school before the year ends. But like, not as gradual as we expect. Like, I've been so hung up on the COVID-19 vaccines and face-to-face classes because, like, I really want to go back to face-to-face. And I think I could remember the president saying that if we reach about 2 million people who get vaccinated, he will approve pilot face-to-face classes in low-risk areas. And then from that basis, if it all goes smooth, then perhaps we could have face-to-face classes as early as, or blended learning as early as late 2021 or January next year. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm optimistic that before we all graduate, we'll be able to go back to school. I mean, hope is for suckers, like for some people would say, like hope because of false hope.
Yeah.
Some people would say, like, don't get your hopes too high, but you have to think positive as always. You gotta not dwell so much into the negative vibes, because if you do, the more you're gonna lose hope. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Also, like, like, we were like talking about like how like online class face to face, and how like online class is like really different from like what we were used to. But like, how did like COVID like change your study habits? Like, how did you like study like before versus like how you study now? Or like, do you even study at all? Since like I know like Pauleen like, doesn't have tests anymore.
I still procrastinate. I bet we all still procrastinate.
Yeah, of course.
Well, studying before is you're on your notebook and you're facing your teacher. You're just basically taking notes on what's on the presentation. But now you're taking notes, you're facing your teacher, and you're on Instagram. That's basically. Also add Twitter and Facebook on my other tabs. I have a lot of distractions.
Do you open all of those when you're in class?
Do you watch Netflix while in your class?
Yeah,
No. I only watch Netflix like when I'm really free. But like, yeah, like sometimes like when I'm not into the discussion, I open Instagram, check people's stories and tweets, and basically their lives on Facebook. It's basically me during online classes. Sometimes I would even like rant to other people, like we would like pass notes through Messenger and talking about like stuff on what's happening in class. Like, yo, dude, I can't believe they give us another assignment. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't.
You watch Netflix?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe.
I've learned how to multitask. That's one thing I learned.
Yes.
Multitask.
When, let's say, the pandemic is gonna end soon, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not too sure when it's gonna end, but when it ends, what's the first thing you would like to do once everything is over? Once Corona's out of it?
I want to go to school. I want to have sleepovers with my friends. Fun fact, I've never actually had sleepovers with my friends.
You never had a sleep, really? Not even like...
No, like in the 7 years I'm in Stony, I've never had a sleepover with them. So like during the pandemic, I'm in talks with like a lot of my friends, like saying, yo, let's have a sleepover. And then everyone's down. Aside from sleepovers, just being able to travel again and hang out with people at the mall, just do a lot of stuff, make the most out of life, because at least you're now given a second chance. I mean, you survived the pandemic, and there's your reward. You got to do a lot of stuff that you want to do.
Yeah. Me too. I think I would travel. The first thing I would do, the first thing in my mind is to travel. Even if it's not internationally, just get out of the city.
Is there any advice that you can give to anyone watching right now on how to basically go through the struggles of like surviving through the pandemic?
What I could advise is you guys just keep praying, because if you cast your burdens upon God, you would feel like this refreshing feeling. At least you know that God is taking care of this for you and He's making plans for you. And also, like, for you to stay socially sane, try to talk with your friends, try to connect with people whom you haven't connected with, and at the same time try to make yourself happy. Do something that you love, or try to form a new hobby. You know, you need to keep your brain active as well, and that's basically how you're going to survive if you stay sane. And of course, wash your hands, wear a face mask, face shield, hazmat suit, or cherry ion. Just stay safe, and let's help our frontliners, and get vaccinated too if you're eligible for vaccination.
I think for me, it's just do what you do, because a lot of people lose a sense of purpose when they're walking through the pandemic. And if there's something you can't do at the moment or with the situation, I think just learn something that you would want to do, because that makes a difference. And try to be positive and don't lose yourself first. That's all I have to say.
But yeah, I guess thanks for sharing your experiences. Thanks for I guess talking about what you've been through. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'd like to give a shout out to my class, grade 11 Egypt, and our advisor, Miss Pauleen. Hope you guys are watching. We're here. We're here. Yeah, to my friends, to my mom, hi dad. And they might not find it, so. You might not find it, so.
Shout out to Brent.
Shout out to Brent. Shout out to Brent.
To breathe the same air would be an honor.
Yes. I was actually nervous at first because, you know, like, we're gonna be talking to students from Brent, and you know, we know how like prestigious Brent is.
What are you, 7?
Goodbye.
Bye. Have a nice day, guys. God bless.